Thank you very much, and good morning, everybody. We are one of the partners in this project, and our main task was in this project analysis of the port of Ploče in sense of direct Bosnian interest for development of this port. When we are speaking about the port of Ploče, it's also important to mention Corridor 5, which is also important for the port of Ploče, but also the port of Ploče is very important for this corridor. I will try to do this presentation briefly because we are lacking of time now. So just brief introduction that we say the transport sector is one of the most important economic sectors in the EU and as well in Bosnia and Herzegovina. Transport is a key factor for the success of single market, and it's especially important in Bosnia and Herzegovina because, as you know, the territorial position of Bosnia and Herzegovina is the center of the countries of former Yugoslavia, and it's very important to develop more highways in Bosnia and Herzegovina, and especially this highway on the Corridor 5C. Probably some of you already know that we have 10 pan-European transport corridors that was actually defined at the second Pan-European Transport Conference in Crete in 1994. One of them is Intermodal Corridor 5, which connects Kiev in Ukraine to Venice in Italy. Total length of this corridor is 1,600 kilometers, and what is important to say that we have 3 branches of this corridor, and one of branch what is important for our country is branch C, which connects actually Ploče with Budapest. You can see on this map actually where the corridor passes through Bosnia and Herzegovina, and this corridor 5C, when we are speaking about this branch, is very important because the longest part of this corridor actually is passing through Bosnia and Herzegovina. And I must say also that this branch is very important also for Croatia, because it's connecting 2 parts of Croatia, northern and southern part, and actually this is the shortest way in connecting these 2 parts of Croatia, and also it's very important for the countries of Central Europe, especially for Hungary, for their export and import. When we are speaking about this corridor in Bosnia and Herzegovina, we have some problems, and the main problem is actually with lack of funding. Especially is very hard actually to find creditors to finance this part of corridor in Bosnia and Herzegovina. But this corridor is very important for Bosnia and Herzegovina because in that sense we will for example, now we have very slow roads, for example, especially this road on the corridor 5C, but with this building of highway, the whole part to corridor 5C in Bosnia and Herzegovina, it will last around maybe 2 hours. When we are speaking of port of Ploče, we must say that port of Ploče is actually on the southern part of Croatia, and it connects on this corridor to Bosnia and Herzegovina. And when we say about Ploče, it's important to say actually although that port is in Croatia, it's very important for Bosnia and Herzegovina because the majority of traffic through this port is actually generated from Bosnia and Herzegovina. And also vice versa, this port is also very important for Bosnia, you know. When we are speaking about infrastructure of port of Ploče, you can see from this slide here, but I just want to important that actually there are 8 terminals, 230 hectares is the total area of the port, and the total annual handling capacity of the port is 4.8 million tons of bulk and general cargo. Storage capacity of 600,000 tons of liquid cargo, and capacity of container traffic is estimated around 60,000 container units per year. You can see here a map of the port. And when we are speaking about the port, I already mentioned a little bit that actually it's very important to mention this gravitational area of the port. It's not only Bosnia and Herzegovina, but you can see here it's also northern part of Croatia, also Serbia, Hungary, Slovakia, and Czech Republic. I also mentioned a little bit that the majority of traffic, as you can see from this table, it's generated from Bosnia and Herzegovina, and in last year, 2015, it was 91% of the traffic, all traffic through the port of Ploče. For example, one figure more is in 2015, 379 ships were proceeded through this port. When we are speaking about type of traffic, you can see here regarding general traffic, bulk cargo, and liquid cargo. In 2015, total number of containers was more than 20,000. Here you can see figures regarding container traffic from 1999 to 2015. And you can see that the highest peak was in 2008. Actually, it was before the economic crisis, which struck this region as well. When we are speaking about further development of the port of Ploče, it's important to mention that we had this trade and transport integration project, which started in 2006. And the main objective was to increase handling capacity, better efficiency of the port system, improving the quality of port system, and creation of infrastructural precondition for private sector investment. It's also very important, this project was very important for hinterland as well. Total value of investment was more than 130 million euros. You can see now here some parts of these actually components of TTI project. You can see here that was container terminal with increased capacities. Here you can see new bulk cargo terminal, which is actually not yet operational, but operational. It will be very soon operational. This new bulk cargo terminal. It will be total infrastructure works for this terminal were around 50 million euros, and the final capacity will be 6.2 million tons. Also, one of the most important part of this TTI project is entrance complex for the port of Ploče, where you can see from here that actually it's directly linked to Corridor 5C highway, that part which is actually already constructed in Croatia. Also, I must mention that when we are speaking about Corridor 5C, it's not only speaking about road corridor, it's also important to mention that railway corridor. But the main problem for railway corridor that there's still some parts of the railway on this corridor needs to be reconstructed. It's because there is no speed is very low on some parts of the. But the project is currently ongoing, and we will expect to finish it soon. Also, one important part of TTI project is port community system, and that is something very similar, which is actually they are trying to introduce in port of Bar. That actually to connect all stakeholders through ICT platform and to have better proceeding of shipment through that port. For the next period is planned also to construct in this area berths for petroleum products and LNG, and it's still in planning. They are now trying to get some permits, but the reconstruction, it will be probably start during the next year. At the end, I must say that after all these TTI project components, implementation of these components, annual operating capacity will be more than 10 million tons in the port of Ploče, and what will actually position the port of Ploče as a very important port on the Adriatic and the Mediterranean Sea. Thank you very much for this presentation, and I hope I gave you some information regarding this, what we've done in this project.